Hi everyone, Sora here. First of all, I apologize for being AFK for all this time, but believe me, I have a good explanation that I can leave for other time. But right now, let's talk about Persona, the RPG series from ATLUS. You know, that one spin-off series that actually ended up making more success than the original game, Shin Megami Tensei. First of all, I'll alert that this video might contain spoilers about all the Persona franchise, so you have been warned, and without further ado, let's begin. Persona 4 came out for PS2 in July 2008 for Japan, December of 2008 for America, and March of 2009 for Europe. Almost 2 years since Persona 3, except for Europe, that's waited only 1 year because, you know, by that time European releases used to take a lot of time. But yeah, Persona 4 was a hit like its predecessors. However, Persona 4 or P4 came to awaken a whole new interest in JRPGs on the Western world. The Persona games focus more on the real world, having sorts of paranormal events occurring around, and Persona 1 through 3 having a shady atmosphere around them that made the player feel tense all the time. Persona 4 brought a more shiny, bright and light-hearted aesthetic with it. As you can see, it became all more colorful. Characters are less dark, there are more moments about friendship and relaxing moments, even though the game is around the series of murder taking part on a quiet town of Inaba. The game had a nice graphics for the console, nothing overwhelming but still pretty good. The music was awesome as always, and the gameplay was further perfected from Persona 3. Persona 3 had that problem that you could only control your main character during combat, and that is freaking annoying for people that like to strategize well their gameplay. The game was pretty satisfying at some point. Seriously, it's a really good experience, and when the game ends, you'll feel kinda sad leaving all those friends you made behind as well as all those cool times and memories. But now, let's get back to the title of this video. Why Persona 4 is overrated. For starters, I'll let you know that this is my opinion and you're free to have your own. So if you don't agree, or if you are a full rage Persona 4 fanboy, please know that there isn't a need to destroy your keyboard on the comment section. Thank you. Let me tell you that I like Persona 4, it's an awesome game. But still, there are some points that broke that Persona game feeling that the series was known for. The tense atmosphere disappeared or was slightly eased, more humorous moments were placed all over the story, even if some of them were kinda forced. The game personas were more about the Shinto religion from Japan, and I have nothing against that since I like Shinto, but still some points are hard to be understood by the Western community since most of the people don't know shit about Shinto. Other aspect of the game that I felt like a bump since Persona 3 was the dungeon crawler. Don't take me wrong, I know that Tartarus is a bit repetitive and Persona 4 at least varies on the dungeon themes, however the dungeons are small and you will spend a good time grinding at the top room before facing the boss. With that proving that the level design should have been more studied since I was able to run all the dungeon just to get to the boss and get my ass kicked in 2 or 3 turns. There's nothing new about grinding on Persona games, sure, but at least on Tartarus you knew when you were ready. On Persona 4 you just had to guess how much leveling is okay to face the boss. Now going for the social links, this one is an aspect from the Persona games that most people love, and it's good to add more depth to the characters and even turn your personas stronger. But everyone knows why we do it. We wanna make the useless personas from our teammates evolve into their ultimate form so we can kick more ass, am I right? The social links in Persona 4 are also cool, but became a bit more hard to just come by. It's almost like you have to guess where those social links are in some cases, like the fox if I remember well. I'm not saying that this is bad, but it's just an aspect that I was not expecting to evolve. The multiple end feature was also a good move, so it could incentivize players to make well their decisions before moving, and if you made the true ending, you know very well that you wanted to cry as your main character was on the train saying goodbye to all those good friends you made during that year. And you reflect on all those good and relaxed moments of friendship that you experienced alongside them. So we take the second playthrough to get Izanagi no Okami and own all the boss just for shits and giggles, because New Game Plus is soft as butter. Because sometimes you can't do all the social links on the first playthrough, because when you're done uncovering the game, it's already too late for that. So you instead end up focusing on the social stats, because sometimes those are important to levels some social links. On the second playthrough, you supposedly have your social stats maxed out, and you already know when and where to go to get those sweet social links. After the second playthrough, you go on and tell yourself, wow, this was a really cool game, can't wait for Persona 5, right? Persona 5 came out already worldwide, and I've been playing it lately, but I won't talk about it now, let's just let that for another video. Well, after finishing Persona 4, you were given a proper ending, an emotional goodbye after a nice adventure of friendship and criminal affair. And so what? I ask you. Persona 4 was indeed a great game, but it left me with a weird taste on my mouth. Persona games always had some kind of sacrifice at the end. For example, on Persona 2, Tatsuya sees his friends losing their memory and seeing his love die. On Persona 3, the main protagonist sacrificed himself to save the world. On Persona 4, there isn't really any ultimate sacrifice for the better of the world, because it is most focused in Inaba. Okay, the fog would spread all over Japan and even the world, but it was clear that Inaba was the most focused point on saving. The protagonist left with his memory, life, and persona intact. Nothing to lose here. A more clean story with a all happy ending. But then, the Fire Nation attacked. I mean, the milking strike. I mean, Persona 4 Golden doesn't really count as milking because it's more than a simple HD remake. It comes with more moments of friendship, cutscenes, a new dungeon, and the new character now considered the canon love interest of the protagonist. So people liked the improvements of Persona 4 Golden so much that decided to consider it the canon Persona 4, and there is nothing wrong with that. We even had a scene where the protagonist would come back to Inaba sometime later to revisit all of his friends, and we can clearly see how time has passed. But okay, the original game was good, and the remake was a bit better. Now, can we get Persona 5? How about Persona 4 The Ultimate in Mayonaka Arena? Well, the game is cool, takes place 2 months after the end of Persona 4, but before the epilogue of Persona 4 Golden. Okay, nice game, ATLUS. Can't wait for Persona 5. Persona 4 The Ultimax Ultra Suplex Hold takes place right after the Mayonaka Arena. Okay, Persona 5? How about Persona Q Shadows of the Labyrinth? What? A crossover? How can it... Okay, I'm not gonna even try anymore. Well, at least it was not the Persona 4 The Ultimate Ultimax Ultra Mega Suplex Rock Bottom The Golden featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That would be awesome. But okay, enough. Persona 5? No, Persona 4 Dancing All Night. What? Now we're bringing out a game like Project Diva to the series? Seriously? What are they smoking? Well, these spin-offs of Persona 4 are taking away all the magic behind the epilogue of Persona 4 Golden. Like, yeah, I get to meet with my friends 1 year after that murder case, even though I was with them some months ago fighting, and I was with them again last month dancing inside the TV world, so... Why do I feel the feeling of nostalgia slowly fading away? Now, returning to the real world, why did Persona 4 get all this milking? Why so much games were made focused on Persona 4? Well, it's true that Persona 4 became a fan favorite. The game itself was more self-explanatory than Persona 3 that dropped you out of nowhere against the enemies and make you figure out the game yourself. The characters on Persona 4 became more memorable because they truly were outstanding, not for their looks but because of their background. For example, Yosuke, also known as Junpei 2.0, is much more cheering and supportive to the main character and is the son from the big corporation Junes of Inaba. Rize is that cute famous idol that is impossible not to love with her unique personality. Or even Naoto, that has some kind of sex complex because she wants to be taken seriously. I'm not saying that Persona 3 hadn't more memorable characters, but I'm saying that Persona 4 had more leisure times with the characters. More dialogue focusing on their friendship than their mission. That was what made Persona 4 attract more fans to it, because it's more laid on the emotional side of things. Are you now understanding why people enjoy soap operas so much? On Persona 1 to 3, you feel a tense atmosphere and a strong sense of duty, while in Persona 4 feels more like you're living on a relaxed life with your friends and together they try to solve a murder case. That is the point I'm trying to make here. Persona 4 might be a bit overrated at my view, because if we see the whole picture, it is a more relaxed theme game. More colorful, and with a less serious and shady look, it makes more friendly for newcomers, and maybe that was the boost that Persona games needed. For the milking, I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe the creators were facing problems while creating a solid concept for Persona 5, but Persona 4 might really be overrated to some people's eyes, just because it was the Persona game that brought more people that you like to call filthy casuals or new facts to the series. But we can't argue that was the one that ended up putting the Persona name higher up, even giving us two animes, one for the original game and the other for the remake. So thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you found it to be interesting or if just entertained your boredom. And remember to go to Crash Star Gaming channel. He was the one providing this video with original footage of his gameplay on Persona 4 Golden. If it wasn't for him, this video wouldn't been possible. So if you enjoy full playthroughs without any commentary, go on to his channel. You won't regret it. Anyways, subscribe to my channel if you want to, and have an awesome one.